Hi everybody. When I was recording yesterday, on the first part of my Festivali I Këngës reaction video, I was hoping to have got the first 11 done and then do the second half today. And unfortunately, of the 11, I only got to review 9. So in this part, I'm going to be looking at the final 13. So first up in this list of 13 songs I haven't yet reviewed is, hang on a minute, who the heck is it? Eliza Hoxha with the song Peng. This is going to be a motive ballad, I can feel it. Okay, let's have a different approach. Okay, so there's like, it's almost like there's a bit of anger there as well. I've got a feeling that live this could actually do pretty well. I'm not saying at Eurovision, I'm saying on the show, on the national final, I could see this doing really well. But I've also got this feeling it's sort of the thing that the juries might go for. I think, to be honest, it's one of those songs where it could either do really well at the contest, when talking about Eurovision, it can either do really well or it could not do so well. I don't want to say flop because I don't think it would flop, but I don't know. It all depends on the presentation. Second song I'm looking at today is by Aranda Lieberhofer, and with the song 100 Pieter. I think that's how you say it. Okay, this is interesting. Seems jazzy, like folky. Did I say jazzy? Yeah, jazzy. Okay, this is different but kind of interesting actually. No, wait. No, wait. I thought now it's finished. There are times where you thought it'd finish and then it'd carry on and you're like, oh, okay then. But yeah, that was rather an interesting end to it. It's got that hook that keeps you going, and it's not one of those kind of songs that do plod on, but it would be very interesting if Albania did very well send this, because it would be quite different for them as a nation. But I enjoyed it. It's nice to hear too. It's like, it's very listenable, but it's not something I would consider to go for them. I'm not saying it's not Eurovision-y enough. I'm not, by all means, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that I just can't see it doing well. Anyway, moving on. I swear this geezer's been in this festival before. I recognise him, but I just don't remember exactly with what song or which one. But this is, I think it's Jörg Lecker with the song, oh god, how do you pronounce this? Yeah, that's a Theater? Interesting start, even though there's no vocal. I have to say, it's an interesting arrangement just then. How long is this song? Sorry, what is 4 minutes long? Okay, this is definitely a song that is definitely not intended to go. Other than it's just there for the purpose of the festival itself. Okay. oh, it's over, it's over, it's over, thank goodness. Sorry to people who are fans of that song, but it does drag on. I mean, really drags on, and that's more than most that I've heard so far. So, looking at it from my perspective, I think it's just there for the sake of the festival rather than a song that's in contention of going. So, if it is in contention of going, no, don't do that. No, keep it away. Okay, so next up we have got Clady Anabata with Mabrema e Parfund. Okay. Well, at least it's got some energy into it. Is it a dance performance? It's a lot more high impact, a lot more energetic, which is good, because at least that will stand out a bit. And I'd say the backing track seems good, but I could definitely see some form of performance in this. I mean, she sounds good on track, and it does sound like almost like a party type song. It's a lot more high beat, it's a lot more energetic, and it does give you that party vibe. So that's a couple of positives. She does sound really good on track as well, vocally, and I'm just hoping that when she performs live in a couple of days' time, I hope it lives up to its expectation. I kind of lost interest after about 2 minutes in, but maybe it's another one of those growers, like, you know, it's good, but it doesn't captivate your attention. It's not quite as instant as you were hoping for, but maybe the more you listen to it, the more you get into it, and that might be a case for me, but it's not bad. Okay, so next up we have Lydia Luffy with the Rapper. Okay, it's sort of a slowish start. Okay, is this going to go anywhere? I don't know why, I'm just kind of bored by this one. Something really interesting. Maybe it's just not my type of music, but it doesn't seem very exciting. Maybe if I understood the lyrics, maybe I'd get it a little bit more, but I'm not really feeling anything with this. No. Oh, okay. I was really bored by that, and I don't know what other people think about it, but it just, to me, it wasn't really going anywhere. And when it did pick up, it was like I was expecting something, and it never quite got there. And yeah, I just don't know what to think really about this one, other than the fact that I was kind of bored as soon as around about 15 seconds in, and I was really hoping for something to sort of excite me, and it never came. Okay, so to this next song, now I have seen a lot of hype for, and because there's a lot of hype, I'm really hoping that this is good, and I mean good enough for me to go, yeah, got it. So we've got Mirud with, is it Nene? Alright, Don't Let Me Down. Ooh. Ooh, love that voice. So, like, classical type style. Got an interesting build, I must say. I can hear more the voice than the actual backing track, but it's interesting. Yeah, I like this. I can't hear the I can hear the vocal more than the instrumental sort of backing track, and I wanted to hear that a bit more, but maybe that's just the problems with the studio cuts. But I'm really looking forward to hearing this in a couple of days' time, and it's so powerful. And I haven't got a clue what he's singing, but I am definitely going to be listening to that one again because I'm quite intrigued by it. This is probably one of the best I've heard so far. I think this might be the best one I've heard so far. But yeah, good job. I'm hoping this next song also lives up to expectations due to the amount of hype I've seen. So this is Sony Malak with the song May Forte. It's got some sort of ethnic elements in this. It's that sort of like almost Turk elements almost. It's sort of around that way. This is going to be a dance banger, isn't it? I've just got my feeling. I thought that in the chorus the backing track was going to be more oomph in it. Seems a bit empty. I think if you have like a sort of a dance performance there, maybe it may work better for me, but I'm trying to envisage it as I'm listening to that song, but I just don't quite get the hype. I think it might need a bit more work done in the instrumental during that chorus, because it kind of falls a bit flat for me at the moment. It feels a little bit empty, but given the fact I'm assuming it's going to be sort of like a dance sort of pop type bop sort of thing, I think I kind of get where the hype is coming from in terms of that. I'm not joining the hype bandwagon, but it's all right. It's not bad. It's not great for me, but it's okay. And if they went with this and that, they'd really have to pull it off live for me to kind of like it. But for me at the moment, it's a make or break. It could either do really well or it could flop. And for me, it's kind of like, it's a so-so song for me at the moment. So yeah, not quite understanding the hype on that one. Maybe because it's a female-fronted sort of dancey type thing. Because I know a lot of Eurovision fans tend to go for that sort of stuff, whereas I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't get it. What are you seeing that I'm not? So if you are a big fan of this song, and please do tell me what is it about this song that you guys kind of like, because at the moment I'm just kind of like, I don't get it. This is another song that's been really hyped up, and I'm just kind of hoping this time around I do kind of get the hype. This is Janida Maliki. Do apologise for this. Kiethu Tokus, I think is the song. Okay, this is quite different from the last one. Again, it's got more of like an ethnic sort of type vibe to it. It seems a bit overproduced because it just doesn't seem as authentic, like it's real, but it just seems like overproduced. But I do like the ethnic elements, like the traditional part of it. And I do like the backing track, it's quite nice. Okay, yeah, it's definitely better than the last one I heard, which I didn't really kind of get the hype for. And this, I do get the hype a little bit more so, but to me it just feels a little bit overproduced. And maybe hearing it live it might sound a lot better, so there is promise. I do like the idea that it's trying to be modern, but at the same time it keeps its traditional elements there. I do think that's quite good. I do like the backing track, and I'm hoping that based on the vocal that I'm hearing at the moment, I'm hoping that does translate well to hearing it live. It is actually pretty good. And when you look in comparison to everything else that I've heard so far, this is definitely good. I still prefer Maroon, but I'm just saying, this is still good. So although I got the majority of stuff recorded last night, I was hoping to continue finishing it off. Unfortunately, I thought I had more time on my hands, and it didn't quite work out to be that way. So I've had to wait till today to record the final 5 reactions to the Albanian entries for this year's Festivali I Këngës. And so this time around I turn to Qtim Prodani with Babella. Okay. It's lounge music, isn't it? You know, the sort of stuff that you'd hear in a jazz bar at like 10:30 at night. I mean, no offence to the guy, but if you like that sort of music then fine, but it's a bit too slow, I suppose. And not so much, it's not really going anywhere, it's more like relaxed, chilled sort of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna skip a bit of this. Okay, yeah, I don't know where to go with this, to be honest. I suppose it's sort of nice for what it is. It's sort of like very chilled, very laid back kind of music. And to be honest, this isn't going for Eurovision, and I think we all know that. This would definitely be a non-qualifier, and it would probably come last place, unless there was something truly tragic that went, then maybe a different story. But yeah, as I said, if you like this sort of stuff, then yeah, it's totally down your street, but it's not for me, and it's definitely not Eurovision. So I'm just going to keep it at that, to be honest. Okay, to the next one. Next up in this list we have Odessa Jamie. Jamie, I'm not sure how to say it, but I remember her. She was there last year, and I thought her song was rather good. So yeah, at least there is somebody in this list that I do recognise. And this time she has decided to enter the festival with a song called, is it Here or something like that? Hey, an upbeat song! I like the sort of rock elements, and that's kind of almost like kind of punkish, I suppose you could say. I do like that though. Like, I have no idea what she's saying, but immediately this is probably one of the best I've heard so far. So it's a lot more modern and it's a lot more up-tempo, upbeat, so that's probably why I think it's a good standout at the moment. I mean, give or take on how this comes across live, I think she's in with a real shot at the moment. Hey! Hey, something I actually kind of like. I mean, it's not the first song I actually kind of like out of this selection, but it's another one, and that is a good thing for me. Yeah, I like this. My foot was actually tapping the whole way through, so I was kept intrigued in that, and that's something, because if I'm sort of intrigued all the way through, then that's a good sign. Well, it is, at least from me. Yeah, I think it just speaks for itself, and that it is much better than what I've heard as of late, so it's up there. Could this win? It's potential. Potentially it's a case. I think it all depends on whether it's good live or not. I mean, I know she can perform, I know she can sing, it's just the presentation now. It's either going to do well or it may not do so well, but I'm hoping for the former. Honestly, these are taking me such a long time to record. I'd have thought I'd have had it done in a couple of days, but no. So I've got 3 songs to go, and hopefully these last 3 songs are going to be quite something. So first up of the final three, I have Bruno Bologatti with Nuka Stop. Love the backing track. Got a nice hook to it. It's singable as well because that Nuka Stop thing sticks in your head. So even if you don't know the words, you're gonna remember that bit. I like this. This is good. And the funny thing is I haven't lost interest in the song, so that's a good thing. Finally a song that I actually like, I mean a proper like. Don't get me wrong, I still love Maroon and whatnot, and that's still probably one of the best there, but I love this. It's got that certain hook to it and that sort of keeps your foot tapping all the way through. And it's upbeat and that I wouldn't say it's too modern, but it's modern enough and that compared to what I've had in this selection. And I think that's a good thing. I hope this does really well because honestly I still think of all the songs I've heard, this is definitely in the top 5. And I'm hoping this does well. So yeah, I'm hoping this does well on the night. Okay, so the penultimate song is by, what is that, Boken Lako, with the song Yeto Yeten. Okay, that's not a voice I was expecting with this kind of song. It's kind of ambient. And his voice is really deep. Is this going anywhere? I skip. How long is this thing? Oh, 2:33. Okay. Okay, I know I haven't had a lot of sleep and everything, but I am literally falling asleep right now. No, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to skip bits of this. Well, that absolutely didn't go anywhere or anything. Honestly, I really don't know what to make of this. It sounds almost like the backing track sort of sounds kind of ambient and sort of, you know, you'd hear sort of in the background maybe on, I don't know, television adverts or something like that. And I think the backing track's probably the best part of this. No disrespect to the bloke or anything, but his voice does not match that style of song at all. I think his voice is way too deep for that sort of thing. And it doesn't seem the styles just kind of clash to me, and the song doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of like I can't even call it filler music because it really isn't. It's sort of there, if you get the idea. Also, I'm wondering how everyone else who watches it live is going to react to it, those who haven't yet heard it, because I'm wondering if they're all feeling the same thing right now. But yeah, big no. I still don't know if this is probably the worst I've heard, but it's got to be up in contention of this selection anyway. Okay, so final song up, we have got Elton Dada. I recognise his name. Was he there last year? Where's that? I really don't want to insult how I say this, but is that Kieta? I don't want to swear, but does it sound like that? It's not old country vibes, is it? I can't hear his voice. The music's kind of drowning it out. This sounds like the sort of music, I don't know, would have been around a couple of decades ago, and the rest. I mean, it's more interesting than the last one. But again, I think this song is sort of specifically for the festival. not for Eurovision. But it has a nice sort of laid back feel to it, which I think was kind of a big thing a few decades ago. So I was doing a couple of skips on it because I just wanted to see if it was going to go anywhere following that, but no, that was pretty much just the general scope of it. Yeah, I think it's like a lot of these. I think it's specifically for the festival and not necessarily for the contest itself. So when picking a song for Eurovision, it's actually quite limited with what we've got. It's a nice, relaxing tune for what it is. As I said, it definitely is not the sort of thing that you'd send to Eurovision, but it's, as I said, for what it is, it's not too bad. But anyway, there's not much else what I can say about it, but it is what it is. So I've listened to all 22 songs now, eventually. Got there, took me about 3-4 days to do it, but I've managed it. There's a couple of standouts in this list. Not that I can remember any off the top of my head, but the 3 hyped entries I think are standouts. I forgot their names, so I'm going to have to look through this playlist again. Janita, Sony and Marud, they're definitely standouts. For me also, I'd say Odessa was a standout, Bruno, and probably way back at the start when I first started doing this, Orel, there was a couple of others, but it's not an entirely bad selection. It's kind of a hit and miss. You've got your good ones, you've got your not so good ones, you've got the your middle of the road ones. A lot of them, yes, are probably more middle of the road than anything, but it's not to say that all of them are. So I'm just hoping that Albania have the decency of choosing one of the good ones. Obviously, none of them are going to compare to Mal, and that's just on another level. So whatever they do pick, I hope that they do end up picking a song that's, well, not necessarily do well, but at least make their country proud, I suppose you could say. But anyway, from here, I think I'm going to be looking at Isola because I think that's one of the national finals where all of the songs have been released, and so therefore I can go through that, but I'm not really sure when I'm working on that. So probably be over the holidays, something like that. So anyway, if I don't record anything from there, it might be after Christmas now. I'm not really sure. It's give or take. Actually, inside that, I might be able to record Christmas night into Boxing Day. So that might be another thing. That might be the next time when I get to do something. So in the meantime, since I may not be around until after Christmas Day, happy holidays to everybody, because across the world I know that we all celebrate different things. I mean, a lot of people celebrate Christmas, a lot of people don't celebrate celebrate Christmas until later on if they're in the Orthodox calendar and don't celebrate until the 7th of Jan. And there's other holidays and festivals as well. More my sister than myself, but we celebrate Yuletide, and that starts off in a couple of days. In fact, hold on a minute, it starts tomorrow. Who am I kidding? So yeah. If I don't record for a little bit, I just want to say happy holidays to you all and have a good one. And from there, I'll see you soon.